Make that machine go faster! Exclamation mark. Quote, I work as a medical laboratory scientist, MLS, in a fairly large 600-bed regional hospital. I'm the one that runs all the tests your doctor orders on your blood and other body fluids. Our testing areas, or benches, in the lab are chemistry, hematology, coagulation, urinalysis, blood bank, and microbiology, each of which has several analyzers. Machines ranging from the size of a microwave to the size of a hippo. Used for testing different things. Woman light skin tone microscope. I work nights, so it's just a skeleton crew in the lab, 2 of us MLS lab techs, 1 lab assistant, and 2 phlebotomists who double as specimen processors. As you can imagine, things get pretty busy with those many benches to cover for that many patients and just the 2 of us to cover them. Between level 1 traumas being flown in from all over the western half of our state and the eastern half of our neighboring state, heart attacks, surgeries, drug overdoses, sepsis, meningitis, cancer, etc., it's hard to keep up. Additionally, much of the testing takes upwards of 1,520 minutes or more to run on the analyzer, depending on the test, and some a lot longer than that. Most of the nurses and doctors understand our constraints, and while we do get the occasional call asking when results will be ready, they mostly leave us alone. Well, last night I had a doctor calling for the results on a hepatitis panel. These are not usually considered stat tests, but this one was ordered as such, so I got it running right away. But the panel takes a long time to run, anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 45 minutes depending on if it is reactive and reflexes to further testing. The doctor called me after I'd only had it on the analyzer for 15 minutes. I informed him it would be at least another half hour, maybe as much as an hour and a half longer, and he told me that was ridiculous, and said that it had never taken that long before. I said I was sorry, but that was the only estimate I had to give him. 35 minutes later the doctor walked into the lab. For those who don't know, this is an extremely rare occurrence. We see nurses and CNAs all the time, but doctors are too busy to ever come down themselves unless it's a dire situation. Me. Hi, how can I help you? Quote, Doctor, are you the one I talked to on the phone earlier? Is my hepatitis ready yet? I'm not seeing it in the chart. Me. Let me check. No, it looks like it's still running. The current estimate is another 30 minutes. And I'll be sure to release the results to the patient's chart as soon as it's finished. Doctor, 30 more minutes? That's insane. You told me 30 minutes on the phone 35 minutes ago. Quote, Me. I told you at least 30 minutes. And said it could be as much as an hour and a half. 30 more minutes is actually right in the middle of my original estimate. Doctor, this is totally unacceptable. You need to do something to make that machine go faster. Quote, I had about reached my limit with this guy, so at that point I turned around and walked the few steps over to the analyzer in question, leaned in close to where I could hear the machinery buzzing along, and yelled, Go faster, as loud as I could. When I turned back to the doctor, I noticed his face was an odd shade of purple as he turned around and stomped out of the lab without another word. He could write me up for unprofessionalism, but not without revealing himself to be a total ass in the process. So I think I'm safe. Grin. TLDR. Doctor demands I make a machine go faster, so I yell at it to go faster. Glorious. Techs can put it in the machine first before starting other tests. But once it's in, there is usually no way to speed things up without compromising the result. What was the doc thinking? I'm somewhat shocked a doctor knew where your lab was. Friends. Bro, where are you? Me. At the bus station. Waiting for the bus. Friends. Come on bro. You need to go here faster. Me. Wait faster. Tell him to invent a faster method and win a Nobel Prize trophy. As someone who works in a lab, the only difference from my experience is that yours has less swearing tears of joy. As a blood banker, my one bit of advice would be always overestimate the time difference between disappointing and miracle worker. Good story. Literally just got off a phone call with our ed. One of our chem analyzers is down and the other one has maintenance QC scheduled at 1400. Explained there would be a delay on chem, then had to spend 10 minutes explaining why I absolutely cannot just skip the maintenance QC for today. Out analyzers literally will not give you a result if it sees QC is 24 hours out. I wish you could have pointed at the estimated time and said, there, it's only 29 minutes left now. There was a sign up in our lab. It takes 9 months to make a baby, no matter how many men you put on the project. This is responsible for the milk shooting out of my nose. Totally different profession. Almost identical to how I've wanted to react to unreasonable expectations. Instead I used a label maker on a ruler. Naming it, Magic Wand. Only used it once. No purple face. The guy could take a joke. But my team knew about it and would joke about having me use it when they got unreasonable demands. Tell him for $1,500 you can make it go faster by buying a stationary bike and connecting a chain and pedaling it. I used to work in professional clinical labs. And yep, we'd get doctors that did stuff like this all the time. The tests are analyzing reactions that take time to occur, or are specifically testing how quickly, slowly reactions occur. They are not instant. Time is one of the parameters of the test itself. And that so many doctors order tests that they seem utterly ignorant of what the test is, how it works, etc., is horrifying. If I, a lowly lab accessioner, person who interprets the doctor's inane scrawl, then measures samples to be sent to the lab, could understand and learn that, why can't a doctor? He could write me up for unprofessionalism. As he should. Up. Yelling at that poor machine for doing its job. How dare you? If it's needed. Is my hepatitis ready yet? Sure. Do you want fries with that? Ha 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 ha. I love it. Did you apologize to the poor machine afterwards and give it a good cleaning? If not, expect it to magically stop working whenever you need it. Even from the title I was reminded of the Packolds from Star Trek, The Next Generation. Sounds like he ordered the wrong kind of analysis, since he complained about it taking longer than usual. Much of the testing takes upwards of 1,520 minutes or more to run on the analyzer. I'm still amazed that it only takes a couple of hours, if that, for a regular panel, in-house, well-written, perfect post. Thank you, thank you, thank you and your compadres at your facility and all facilities for your attention to duty and being on top of everything. Please give European kisses and hugs from Grandma Lindsay. You may wish to post this in the subreddit r/nursing. I know they'd get a kick out of this post. Example of techs being awesome people. From a patient point of view, I'm in 2 hospitals for a total of 2 weeks. Specimens are collected at 0400. Damn you, vampires. It's in the chart no later than 0700. How do I know? Online in my patient portal. The results show up as soon as they're done. So I get the results quicker than the doctor and sometimes nursing day shift, only because they have to take the time for the shift change and can't look at it right away. While in the hospital, I checked my panels each morning. My hemoglobin was still kinda below the threshold for a transfusion, so I was prepared to argue against one. I had to promise the moon. Stars. Promise to eat lots of fish plus take iron supplements in order to not get one. But I was prepared. And I didn't have to have a transfusion. I also knew when I was in the hospital that I'd have to get a PICC line based on my white count. I was prepared. Thanks to the techs in the lab doing their awesomely quick and thorough job. I was mentally and emotionally prepared to deal with whatever DX and TX were thrown at me versus just agreeing to whatever was suggested. My 12-year-old son was waiting with me in the waiting room for a chance to see a doctor for his collarbone that shattered while wrestling in a school event. After 30 minutes and no movement from the staff, his obvious pain made me get up and go over to the admitting nurse. My son over there is doubled up in excruciating pain right now. I know we all have to wait our turn. But is there any way we can wait faster? Quote, he went in 5 minutes later.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.